Today is July 20th, and something sacred is shifting. A soundless tremor rippled through the divine realms early this morning, not of fear, but of awakening. Somewhere between the breath of sunrise and the hush of midnight's echo, your name was spoken in the halls of Archangel Michael. Not as a whisper, not as a prayer, but as a summons. His sword of truth, forged in the fires of celestial light, was lifted, not in war, but in warning. And what he saw when he looked into your soul's timeline sent a radiant crack through the foundation of silence. There is something, someone who belongs to you, not in ownership, but in recognition. A soul bound to yours through lifetimes of longing, surrender, and reunion. And that soul is being pulled away. Not by fate, not by time, but by someone too close for comfort. Someone whose hands once held your secrets. Someone who knows your patterns, your soft spots, your dreams. Your sister. Whether born of blood, shared family, or bonded through soul group, she has stepped into your divine chapter with intention. Not to protect, but to possess. She desires the very person meant for you. And worse, she believes she can have them. But heaven has seen this before. This isn't the first time. And if you do not rise, this story will repeat again. You've known this person longer than your memory can hold. Their energy has walked beside yours in other lifetimes, sometimes as lover, sometimes as friend, always as teacher. They're not just someone you're drawn to. They are your reflection, your counterpart, your twin in light and fire. You may have crossed paths already, or maybe they are circling closer, feeling you just beyond the veil. But the pull you feel, that soul magnetism, is not a delusion. It is destiny. And that destiny is now under threat. Archangel Michael speaks not to frighten, but to awaken you. The interference is not random. Your sister, perhaps unaware of the depth, or perhaps fully conscious, is placing herself in the middle of the spiritual cord that binds you to your person. She's aligning with their energy. She's mirroring you, watching, waiting for an opening. And worst of all, she believes she's entitled, that your soul connection is something she can interrupt or even replace. And so she's begun to act. Little words, energy shifts, spiritual sabotage dressed as care. And your person, though divinely yours, is starting to feel the confusion. The light around them is dimming, and they don't know why. But Michael does. And so now, you must. Archangel Michael saw it in your Akashic record. This isn't the first lifetime you and your sister have danced around the same soul. In fact, this karmic triangle is older than your name. There was once a time, centuries ago, in another body, under another sky, where the same soul came between you. Back then, the roles were reversed. You were the one standing in her shadow. You watched as she manipulated, charmed, and ultimately claimed the one your soul cried out for. That soul, your person, was confused then too, torn between two flames, and your silence back then, your decision to surrender, instead of speak, left your soul aching. You carried that heartbreak through dimensions, and now, in this life, the test has returned, not as punishment, but as choice. Will you once again allow your divine connection to be rewritten by another's envy? Or will you rise as the version of yourself your past life wished she could be? Because here's the truth. This person is yours, not in ego, not in control, but in divine order. But heaven only honors what you claim. And if you don't speak up, spiritually or energetically, the old ending will return. Only this time, the betrayal will hurt more. Because now, you know better. Your sister is not evil, but she is lost. She is being guided by shadows, some of her own wounding, some ancestral, and some karmic. She may not even understand the depth of what she's doing, but Archangel Michael sees all. And from where he stands, he sees the energetic entanglements forming. He sees her envisioning a life with your person. He sees the moments she watches you and mirrors your gestures, your language, even your spiritual practices. He sees her speaking about you in ways that bend the truth, planting doubt, where there should be devotion. She is spiritually reaching into a garden that was never hers. And while you may be hesitant to believe it, hesitant to believe she'd ever cross that line, you need to understand, this isn't about the surface. This is soul-level interference. She may have already begun aligning her energy with theirs. Perhaps she's reaching out to them directly, under the guise of friendship. Perhaps she started dropping hints, sowing confusion, twisting timing in her favor. The danger is not just that she feels something. The danger is that she's beginning to act on it. And heaven can no longer stay silent. This is why Archangel Michael has come to you now, not to place blame, but to ignite truth. He carries the sword of clarity, and today, he places it before you. You do not need to fight her with words. You do not need to fall into fear. But you must open your spiritual eyes. This connection you share with your person is sacred. But sacred doesn't mean immune. The strongest bonds can be tampered with when you forget your power. And right now, your person is vulnerable. They may be sensing shifts, but not understanding them. They may be feeling drawn to something or someone who carries your echo, but not your essence. Your sister is becoming that echo. She is mimicking your energy because deep down, she knows what you carry. She sees the light in you. She has always known it. And perhaps for years, she's wondered why it shines more easily on you than her. But instead of healing, she is reaching. Instead of reflecting, she is taking. And if you do not spiritually anchor your connection now, this karmic storm will tear open old wounds, not just for you, but for them too. Think back. There have been signs, moments you dismissed as coincidence, the way she asked about them too often, the shift in her energy when they entered the room, the comments that seemed harmless but felt off. You felt it. A quiet unease when she lingered too long in your stories or asked to see photos more than once. Maybe you even saw the look in her eyes, the flicker of desire she tried to hide behind a smile. You wanted to believe it was nothing, that love was safe, that family wouldn't cross those boundaries. But the spirit knows what the mind denies. Your dreams have been warning you. Perhaps you've dreamt of betrayal, of watching your person walk away, of standing in a wedding that wasn't yours. These are not nightmares. They are memories echoing from other timelines, warning you of what could return. And Archangel Michael says, this is your moment. You either rise or repeat. There's something deeper at play here. A soul contract between you, your sister, and your person. Before you came into this life, you agreed to this test, not to suffer, but to grow. In another life, your sister was the one who felt discarded, unseen, passed over. That lifetime wounded her deeply, and some of that pain has followed her here. Now in this incarnation, she was meant to watch you rise, to celebrate your healing, to support your sacred union. But the old ache resurfaced, and instead of transcending it, she's letting it possess her. That's why she's drawn to your person. Not because she truly loves them, but because they represent something she's always believed she was denied, being chosen. Her heart wants to be wanted, her ego wants to win. But your soul knows the truth. This isn't about love. This is about healing a wound that cannot be fixed by stealing what was never hers. Archangel Michael reminds you, this is a battle of light, not noise. Your silence is your sword. Your clarity is your shield. This is not the time to confront her in anger or expose her in pain. That would only entangle you deeper in the karmic trap. Instead, you are being called to protect your bond spiritually. Begin by lighting a white candle. One for truth, one for divine order. On a small paper, write your name next to your person's. Fold it gently, place it beneath the candle. Speak aloud. What is divinely mine cannot be stolen. What was written shall return. Do this for 3 days, in the morning, in stillness, in trust. And do not engage her emotionally. Do not feed the illusion with fear. Your energy must rise above the distortion. For when you hold your frequency, the illusion begins to crack. Your person will begin to see clearly again. And your sister's mask, spiritual or emotional, will begin to fall. This act is not just ritual. It is remembrance. You are not powerless here. You are not doomed to lose what is sacred. But you must awaken. Your connection with your person was written in soul light. Golden cords stretch between your hearts, even when the world tries to dim them. That cord is flickering now, clouded by confusion, wrapped in another's longing. But it is not broken, and it will not break if you claim it, if you honor it, if you hold it. Archangel Michael stands beside you, shielding the path with radiant flame. He cannot walk it for you, but he can illuminate the steps. Your person is beginning to sense something is wrong. They may feel emotionally pulled in two directions. They may dream of you, but wake with thoughts of her. This is the influence she's sending. It is real, but it is not stronger than you. If you hold your light, they will remember. And this is what heaven needs you to understand. Your story is not being stolen. It is being tested. Just as iron is forged in fire, your bond must pass through the flame. But the fire does not burn what is real. It reveals it. You were chosen, and not just by your person. You were chosen by God, by time, by your higher self to walk this path. And this moment, painful as it is not your punishment. It is your portal. If you let fear speak, it will rewrite the ending. But if you let soul truth rise, what is yours will come rushing back, stronger, clearer, and protected. Your sister may believe she's winning, but she does not know that heaven has already intervened. That Archangel Michael has already placed his sword beside your name. You do not need revenge. You do not need permission. You only need to remember. Heaven does not erase what is written in soul light. And what is written for you is on its way home. Let us go back now, not to childhood, but far further. Before this name, before this body. There was a lifetime in which the air smelled of incense and sand, where stars were read as prophecy and love was written as fate. You and your sister were both daughters of a noble family. And he, the soul who is now your person, was a traveler from a distant kingdom. He arrived carrying more than belongings. He carried the echoes of your heart. From the moment you saw him, your soul stirred. It wasn't desire, it was remembrance. He looked at you not as a stranger, but as if he had been searching for you across time. But your sister saw it too. She felt it. And something inside her cracked. Not because she truly loved him, but because she could not stand the light that rose in you when he was near. Envy is a quiet disease. It doesn't scream, it watches, it studies, it waits. In that life, you were soft, gentle. You believed that what was meant for you could not be taken, and so you stood back. You trusted the universe. But she did not. Your sister began to mimic your gestures. She wore your colors. She learned the sound of your laugh and echoed it. When he was near, she was always one breath closer than you. And then she went further. Words were whispered, lies delicately placed like poisoned honey. She told him you had promised yourself to another, that your heart belonged elsewhere. He asked you once, but your silence was your ruin. You thought silence was grace, but it was mistaken for truth. And so he turned from you, and the soul meant for you walked into a life with someone else. Your sister. The ceremony was grand, the celebration long, but in the quiet, their marriage was hollow, because he never stopped dreaming of you, and she always knew he was dreaming of you too. You died with that ache, not violently, but slowly, a quiet erosion of the heart. You lived a life of half-light, always wondering what would have been if you had spoken, if you had reached, if you had claimed. That pain did not end with your last breath. It etched itself into your soul's next journey. And so here you are again, incarnated into the same constellation of souls. Your sister beside you, your person somewhere in your field. The players have returned, the story rewritten, but the lesson remains. Archangel Michael reveals, this is your second chance. Not to fight, not to hate, but to choose truth this time. To end the cycle. To speak what once you kept hidden. Because this time he is not yet lost. Not fully, but the clock is ticking. She is weaving the same spell again, whether she knows it or not. And if you do not interrupt the pattern, it will complete itself once more. You've felt the rivalry before, haven't you? Even in this life, subtle but sharp. As children, perhaps she always needed to outshine you. Perhaps she took the spotlight even when it dimmed you. Or maybe she played the victim, knowing that when she cried, others ran, and you were left quiet in your strength. She competed in ways you never understood. Even when you gave love, she seemed to resent it. Maybe she borrowed things that were yours physically or emotionally, clothes, friends, attention, and you let her. Not because you were weak, but because you were trained by family, by expectation, by love itself, to sacrifice. But spiritual sacrifice must be conscious. If you continue to give what is yours to protect, the lesson repeats. And Archangel Michael says, enough. This is your time to end the pattern. You are not here to be the echo. You are the origin, the light, the divine choice. Your person is at a crossroads now. Their soul knows you. They may be awakening slowly, seeing signs, feathers, mirrored numbers, dreams of a woman they cannot fully name but long to remember. And yet, they are also being told. Your sister's energy is familiar to them too, not because she is their match, but because she is entangled in the karmic past. Her connection to them is not love. It is history, a history that must be healed, not repeated. But if they are not shown the truth, they may mistake old patterns for present paths. The danger is not just her desire, it is the illusion she carries. Illusion is powerful. It mimics connection. It imitates alignment. And in moments of vulnerability, it can convince even the most awakened heart. This is why your light must rise. Not in aggression, not in fear, but in full embodiment. They must feel you more clearly than they feel her confusion. Archangel Michael shows a vision now of the threads between your souls. You and your person are connected by a golden cord. It pulses with recognition, memory, and divine intention. But now a shadow thread is forming beside it. It is not as bright, not as strong, but it is being fueled by her will. The more she focuses, desires, schemes, the more that thread tries to thicken. If it grows too strong, your person may begin to believe they are meant to choose her. But it will not bring peace, only friction, restlessness, unspoken regret, and eventually, spiritual collapse. This is why intervention must be spiritual first. Archangel Michael does not fight in flesh, he fights in truth. And you must now join him, not by confronting her, but by anchoring in what you know, that your love is real, that your connection is divine, that heaven wrote this union long before either of you breathed. You are not being asked to hate her. That would only poison your own light. You are being asked to see clearly, to remember who you are. In past lives you have been the one left behind, the one forgotten, the one who said nothing, but not this time. This lifetime is different. You were born with more awareness, more spiritual access, more clarity. And that clarity is your weapon now. She may play the same roles, speak the same sweet lies, but she cannot copy your essence. She may wear your voice like a mask, but she cannot carry your frequency. And when your person remembers your energy fully, the fog will lift. They will not just choose you, they will run to you. Because the soul always returns to its mirror, especially when heaven has cleared the path. Archangel Michael asks you to recall every time you surrendered your power, every time you felt something was yours but gave it away, every time you let someone else speak for you, take from you, step ahead of you. That pain, that pattern is being rewritten now. But only if you stand in your truth. Light the candle, say the prayer, call your energy back. Visualize you and your person surrounded by golden light, wrapped in Michael's wings, untouchable by illusion. Say their name out loud, not with desperation, but with certainty. You are calling home what was never truly gone. You are not begging, you are remembering. And in that remembrance, timelines shift. Your person may begin to feel it, like waking from a long, strange dream. They might feel emotionally confused, suddenly aware of strange tension or subtle manipulations. They may even pull away from both of you briefly, trying to sort through the fog. This is normal. Do not panic. Do not chase. The clarity is working. Your energy, once cleared of fear and doubt, will act like a beacon. Their soul will respond, and the illusions cast by your sister will begin to fall. She may feel the shift too, and she may not take it well. Expect emotional reactions, passive comments, attempts to reclaim attention. Do not respond. That is how you win this battle, by not stepping onto her stage. This is not just about love. This is about sovereignty, about ending an ancient cycle that has kept your soul playing small. Archangel Michael says you are not here to repeat betrayal. You are here to break it. You are not here to lose again. You are here to reclaim. The person who is meant for you is part of your purpose. Your shared mission matters, and heaven will not allow it to be stolen if you choose to protect it now. Light your candle, say the words, refuse the drama, and know this truth in every part of your being. You are the one. You are always the one. Not because you fought for it, but because your soul already earned it. This is your moment. Do not let fear be louder than your remembering. Do not let the past speak louder than your presence. Because what is yours is on its way back. There are moments in life when the illusion becomes almost more believable than the truth. When the soul starts to question itself, did I imagine it? Was the connection real? Was it ever meant for me? And this is where Archangel Michael draws his flaming sword through the fog. He reminds you, your love is not imagined. Your knowing is not a fantasy. That ache inside your chest, that magnetic pull toward them, is not confusion, it is memory. Memory of lifetimes that existed before this name. Memory of a promise made not in words, but in vibration. Your person may be doubting now. The sister may be growing bolder. Perhaps she's inviting them out under innocent pretenses. Perhaps she's opening herself emotionally, speaking of how she feels seen by them. These are the subtle distortions. They may not look like betrayal on the surface, but underneath, they are. And the divine realm sees what others hide in softness. Do not be surprised if you begin to feel drained, emotional, or even physically sick. This is not weakness, it is energetic interference. Your cords are being pulled on. Your frequency is being tested. She may not be doing it consciously, but she is channeling envy into action. And envy is a vibration that clings. You must cleanse daily now. Water is your ally. Spiritually bathe in salt or place your feet on the earth. Breathe. Call your energy back from every place you've left it, from every gaze that tried to own it, from every version of you that stayed silent. You are not in competition. You are not begging to be loved. You are remembering that you already were. Your job is not to convince your person. It is to become the light that makes the illusion collapse. Let her imitate. Let her perform. But you must remain rooted in truth. There's a deeper reason this battle is happening now. Archangel Michael shows that you are entering a critical gateway in your life, emotionally and spiritually. Your heart is not just being tested for love, it is being tested for leadership. The union with your person is meant to activate something. A mission, a frequency, a healing in the collective that only the two of you together can carry. But that frequency can only rise through purity. That's why interference was allowed for a time. It was never to punish you, it was to awaken you. The illusion had to approach so you could finally choose not to dance with it. And in doing so, you rise above it permanently. You have been here before in other lives, but this time, if you stand in your light, you will not just win love, you will shift timelines. not only for yourself, but for generations after you. Think of all the times your sister has taken what was yours, not out of malice, but out of pattern. The toy you held that she demanded, the friend you introduced that she claimed, the idea you voiced that she repackaged as her own. This is not just personal, this is ancestral. Women in your lineage may have always been taught that love is a battlefield, that only one can be chosen, that being the favorite is the only form of safety. But this is not your truth. You are not here to repeat the scarcity of love. You are here to birth abundance, and abundance never steals, it multiplies. Your soul did not come here to fight your sister, it came here to free her too. But she must choose that path for herself. Until then, your job is not to drag her into light. It is to become the lighthouse so bright, no imitation can compete. Michael speaks now, not with warning but with instruction. The time has come to act, quietly, spiritually, powerfully. Tonight, when the sky darkens, light your white candle. Prepare your altar. Simple is holy. A paper with your name and your persons folded gently. Place it beneath the candle. Say the words clearly. What is divinely mine cannot be stolen. What was written shall return. Do not whisper it in fear. Speak it like a vow. Then close your eyes. See the golden cord between you and your person glowing again. Strong, protected, whole. Imagine your sister gently stepping away, not in punishment but in peace. Let her fade from the connection. Let love reclaim its rightful space. Repeat this for 3 days. Do not talk about it. Do not post about it. This is sacred, and the divine moves in silence. Over the next few days, expect shifts, subtle at first. Perhaps your person suddenly grows quiet with her. Perhaps they cancel plans, seem emotionally distant. This is the spell beginning to break. The illusion unraveling thread by thread. They may dream of you more vividly. Hear your name when no one speaks. Feel drawn to your presence in strange ways. This is not manipulation. This is truth reawakening. Let it unfold. Do not chase it. Do not question it. Simply stay in alignment. You may see feathers. You may see 111 or 222. These are signs from Michael. Reminders that the sword is drawn and your name is being protected in realms unseen. You are not losing them. You are reclaiming what never truly left. But be warned, as truth returns, shadow resists. Your sister may sense the shift before she understands it. She may lash out, not necessarily with cruelty, but with emotion. She may cry, say you're being distant, or accuse you of imagining things. She may try to draw sympathy from others, painting herself as the one who's confused or hurt. Do not react. That is the trap. Archangel Michael reminds you, when you answer illusion with emotion, you feed it. Instead, hold your ground in silence. Be kind but unmoved. Be warm but sovereign. Your silence will speak louder than confrontation ever could, because the light you carry will do what words cannot. It will burn away the lie. And if you are tempted to speak to your person about it, to warn them, to confess your fear, wait. Archangel Michael says they must see it on their own. Only then will they trust what they feel is real. You are not here to prove yourself. You are here to become undeniable. The truth will rise when you stop trying to force it, when you become it. Your person is not blind. They are simply under a veil. That veil is lifting now, piece by piece, and when it falls completely, they will not just feel love for you. They will feel remorse for ever being pulled away. And in that moment, they will return not just to your side, but to your soul. And what of your sister? What becomes of her when the truth is revealed? Archangel Michael says compassion. She too is a wounded part of the divine. She too is trying to feel whole. But her method, her pattern is distorted. When she sees that her actions did not win, that imitation does not equal connection, she will face her own pain, and that pain will be hers to heal. Do not rescue her. Do not punish her. Let karma teach what only karma can. You will not need revenge. Divine justice will speak for you. and it will speak with unmistakable clarity. The truth will be revealed, not in rage, but in undeniable exposure. And finally, you will stand at the center of a storm that has passed. Your person will look at you with eyes that remember, that see you, not just as someone they care for, but as someone they chose before time began. And you will feel something shift within. The old ache will soften, the karmic loop will close, and for the first time in this long cycle, you will not be the one left watching someone else live your love story. You will be living it, not because you fought for it, but because you stood in your soul, because you trusted the divine more than the distortion, and because Archangel Michael shielded your name when you had the courage to rise. You have done what your past self could not. You have remembered, and now your love will remember too. The air around you is shifting. You may feel it already. Pressure in the chest, ringing in the ears, moments of silence that stretch a little too long. These are not coincidences. They are signals. The spiritual realm is speaking more loudly now, because you've entered the moment where action is no longer optional. You're no longer standing at the edge of your story. You're in the middle of it. And the battle is not with your sister. It never truly was. The battle is between your current self and your former timelines, between the version of you who stayed silent and the version of you who chooses to rise. Archangel Michael has not come to simply watch. He has unsheathed his sword. That is not symbolic, it is sacred. It means the divine is intervening now, not only to protect what is yours, but to dismantle what was never true to begin with. Michael instructs you again, return to your altar tonight. This time, bring water. A small bowl of it. Place it beside the white candle. This water represents truth in its purest form, flowing, uncontainable, unmanipulated. Dip your fingers in and anoint your third eye. Speak, let me see what is mine with clarity, let what is false fall from me. Then light your candle and place your hand above the flame, not touching, just sensing. Feel the warmth, the memory of divine truth igniting in your palm. Whisper the names, yours and your person's. Then say again, what is divinely mine cannot be stolen. What was written shall return. Let the candle burn for at least 11 minutes in silence. This silence is your agreement with the angelic realm. You are not begging, you are not asking, you are aligning. And when alignment is pure, the divine begins to move mountains in your name. For 3 consecutive nights, repeat this ritual. And in the space between those nights, do nothing reactive. Do not text out of fear. Do not argue to set the record straight. Do not explain yourself to your sister. Her soul knows exactly what she's doing. The more you explain, the more she gains access to your frequency. Silence now is not passive, it is your shield. Michael says, every time you speak in fear, you open a window to the very illusion you're trying to close. But when you hold your field, when you become still and luminous, the illusion cannot hold. It begins to crumble under its own weight. And your person, the one your soul knows as home, begins to feel the clarity they were denied. Not because you pushed, but because you stopped shrinking. Your person's awakening is already underway. Even now, they may be noticing strange patterns. Déjà vu. A sudden discomfort when speaking with your sister. Dreams that feel like memories. Restlessness with no known source. Their higher self is remembering you, not the surface you, but the eternal you. And your energy, now that you've reclaimed it, is calling them back like a lighthouse through fog. This is not manipulation. This is resonance. The universe is echoing what was always true, and no matter how convincing your sister tries to be, she cannot replicate the frequency of someone divinely chosen. She's trying to wear your essence like a costume, but the soul cannot be tricked forever, and the unraveling is already beginning. The closer the truth gets to the surface, the more the false must fight to survive. Do not be shocked if your sister begins to accelerate her actions. She may make bold moves, inviting your person to talk, confessing sudden feelings, or even sharing distorted stories about you. She is desperate for validation, for victory, for proof that she is worthy. But here's the truth. Worthiness cannot be won by stealing someone else's path. The divine does not bless connections built on distortion. Even if they appear to succeed temporarily, they eventually collapse. You must remember this in moments of doubt. Her power is not real. Her energy cannot sustain what it is trying to create. It will unravel. Let her build her illusion. You build alignment. And watch who remains standing when the storm clears. This is also a moment of refinement. You are being shaped by fire, not burned, but purified. Every time you resist the urge to defend yourself, you become more powerful. Every time you choose truth over reaction, your energy expands. This version of you, calm, sovereign, spiritually focused, is the version your person is being drawn back to. They may not understand it consciously, but their soul is running toward it. Michael says, let them find you in your stillness, not in your struggle. This is sacred reunion, not one born from chasing, but from remembrance. And in remembrance, there is no competition. Your sister is not your rival. She is a shadow of the old story, a character from a script you no longer need to play. Let her act. You ascend. In moments of temptation, when your mind screams, do something, return to the candle. Return to the water. Speak again. What is divinely mine cannot be stolen. This is not a chant, it is a command. The heavens move when conviction becomes vibration. You are not just hoping for clarity. You are invoking it. With every repetition, you are calling your energy home. You are wrapping your soul around your person like golden silk, not to bind them, but to remind them. There's no need to fear if it's working. It already is. Divine energy never fails. It only asks for trust. Trust and time. The sword is in the ground now, and all that was not rooted in truth will begin to shake. You may begin to notice small signs, feathers appearing in places they shouldn't, your person reaching out unexpectedly, your sister growing strangely quiet or agitated. These are confirmations. Divine energies always ripple into the physical. 111, 222, 1111. These number patterns will guide you. When you see them, pause, breathe. Feel Michael's presence beside you. He is not distant. He is watching, guarding, clearing the field. There is angelic fire burning through every lie, every manipulation, every karmic remnant that once held you small. And as it burns, your path becomes visible. The timeline you prayed for, the love you felt but couldn't touch, is beginning to return. It is coming home. Because you came home first. And your person, they are not blind to this change. They may not understand all of it, but they feel you again. Not as an idea, as a presence. Your voice in their thoughts, your light in their heart. They are beginning to question what they once accepted. The fog that your sister cast over their intuition is lifting. They will see her differently soon. The confusion will dissolve into clarity, and when it does, they will not feel guilt. They will feel a pull, a remembering. They will come back not with apology alone, but with a knowing. It was always you. Let that moment come naturally. You do not need to orchestrate it. You only need to stay ready, not for battle, but for reunion. And when it happens, and it will happen, do not receive them with bitterness. Receive them with truth, with the strength of someone who knows they are chosen. Archangel Michael's final instruction for this phase is simple. Stand tall in love. Do not punish them for being temporarily lost. Do not punish yourself for almost forgetting. This is the great reunion, not just between two souls, but between your present and your divine path. You have passed the test. Not by fighting, but by choosing love without fear, faith without panic, and truth without performance. This is the moment your ancestors, your past selves, and your angels have waited for. And in this moment, the karmic wheel breaks, the story resets, the crown returns to your head. and love, true love, returns to your arms. It begins with a shift in energy, so subtle, so quiet, it almost goes unnoticed. Your person, once entangled in the emotional fog your sister spun around them, begins to feel uneasy in her presence. Where once they laughed with her, they now sense hollowness. Where once her words felt inviting, they now carry a strange aftertaste. It is the soul's alarm clock ringing from deep within. They may not say anything at first, they may grow quiet, distracted. They may cancel plans with her and not understand why. Or perhaps they'll speak to her and feel afterward like something was taken, not given. This is Michael's sword working. Truth vibrates at a higher frequency than illusion, and when it enters the field, everything false begins to sound off. Your person may even begin to remember things they overlooked. How she always seemed a little too interested. How she always asked too many questions about you. How she never quite looked happy when you were mentioned. The fog lifts, and what was disguised as connection becomes exposed as possession. And in this clarity they feel you again, fully, like breathing after being underwater too long. And your sister, she senses it too. She may not be fully conscious of it, but she will begin to feel the slipping, the unraveling. Her attempts to pull them closer will begin to fail. She may act erratically, a sudden confession of feelings, an emotional outburst, or even a manipulative gesture dressed as vulnerability. It is not true love that drives her, it is fear. Fear of being left behind again. Fear of watching you receive what she believes she deserves. But the soul cannot be tricked by desperation, no matter how emotionally dressed. Your person will feel the imbalance, not as judgment, but as repulsion. She may say something that reveals more than she intended. A confession that feels forced, or worse, a comment about you that exposes the jealousy she can no longer hide. Michael says, the truth will not hide forever. It only waits for the right vibration. And now that you've anchored in your light, that vibration is here. Something unexpected may happen. A dream, a sudden emotional awakening. A moment where your person sees everything with unbearable clarity. Maybe they remember a conversation you had that now feels prophetic. Maybe they hear your name in their mind just as she tries to reach for them. Maybe they look into her eyes and see nothing. The illusion has cracked open. It is not your job to make them understand. The divine is handling that now. The sacred contract you share with them is glowing again, restored, protected, clear. And because you did not retaliate, because you did not chase, the lesson is now complete. The spiritual courtroom is quiet. The verdict has been passed. Truth has been restored. And what is not aligned must fall away. Your person may not run to you instantly, but they will begin to walk. Steadily, intentionally, and with reverence. They remember you now, not the outer you, but the soul beneath it. The soul that has been calling them home through time itself. Your sister may resist the truth, or she may collapse beneath it. When someone has built their identity on being the chosen one, losing that illusion feels like death. Do not gloat. Do not judge. This is her healing moment. Let her have it. The pain she feels now is not because she lost love. It is because she never truly had it. She was trying to take your light instead of finding her own, and now the divine mirror has turned. She must face the shadow she projected outward for so long. This will not be easy for her, but it is necessary. Some souls only awaken when the illusion burns. You are not her savior. You are not her enemy. You are her mirror. And mirrors only reflect what already is. Michael says she will have her chance to choose healing. But that is not your responsibility. You are released from that role. It is time now to live your own love story. You'll know the shift is complete when something subtle but sacred occurs. Perhaps a message arrives from your person. Not dramatic, not rehearsed but real. A question, a memory. A longing that rises without resistance. Maybe it's a confession. I've been thinking about you. or a dream they need to share, or maybe they ask to see you. But the energy is different now. There is no confusion, no duality, just presence, just return. You won't need to fight for their clarity. They've already found it. And this time, when they look at you, they will not look away. Because your light no longer scares them, it calls them. It heals them. And they'll understand now why nothing ever worked with anyone else. Why they always came back to the thought of you. Why even when they were with her, they still felt your name burning under their breath. The fog is gone. The truth remains. And truth always wins. It may come in waves. A phone call where they pause before they speak. A moment where they say your name differently, as if tasting it again for the first time. Don't rush it. Let it unfold like a flower. Their return is not your reward. It's your reflection. You stood in your truth. You kept your light steady. You honored your contract, and the universe responded. This is the sacred law of resonance. You aligned, and so what was meant for you found its way back. It doesn't matter how long it took. It doesn't matter how many detours there were. All that matters is this: they chose you. With eyes open, with heart awakened, not out of habit, not out of history, but out of soul memory. And when that happens, there will be nothing left to question. Do not look back. There is no need to revisit the wounds, the manipulation, the heartbreak. Let the story end where it was supposed to, with you walking into your future, not dragging the past behind you. Archangel Michael says this is the moment your lineage has waited for. The karmic loop is closing. You did not just protect your love, you healed a family wound that stretched generations. You broke the spell, and now you're free. Not just to love, but to live, to rise, to begin again without fear. What once held you captive, betrayal, rivalry, emotional confusion, now bows at your feet. Because the truth you stood in was greater than the lie you faced. There will be whispers of awe in the spirit realm. Your guides, your ancestors, even versions of you from past lives, they watch in reverence, because you did what others could not. You did not fight fire with fire. You became water. You did not scream into the chaos. You became stillness. You did not try to prove yourself worthy. You remembered you always were. This is spiritual maturity. This is divine authority. Your person is no longer confused. Your sister is no longer capable of stealing light. And you are no longer afraid of your power. You have stepped into a version of yourself that is untouchable, not because you're cold, but because you are clear. And clarity is the highest form of protection. And now, Archangel Michael speaks one final truth before the ending comes. He says, you have already won. Not because you conquered another, but because you claimed yourself. This love was never just about romance. It was about memory, alignment, restoration. And now, because you chose truth when it hurt, you will walk forward in peace. There may be echoes of the old story, but they cannot touch you. Your soul has been sealed in light. And what is sealed in light cannot be stolen, broken out, or forgotten. And just like that, the sword is lifted, the veil is cleared, the path before you is golden. And now, the final truth must be spoken. One that may shake you, but will ultimately set you free. Archangel Michael does not whisper it. He places it directly into your heart with the power of divine memory behind it. He says, your soul chose this sister. You both chose this test. But only one of you chose truth. In the great halls of soul agreements, long before this lifetime, long before this body, you and your sister stood before the sacred fire. You were offered the chance to incarnate together, not as rivals, but as mirrors. To test one another, to trigger ancient wounds, to replay the pain that began lifetimes ago when love was lost through betrayal. She made a choice then to learn through envy. You made a choice to learn through love. And now the cycle has closed. This chapter was never about her winning or losing. It was about you remembering who you are when someone tries to dim your light. And you remembered, you rose. And now, the contract is fulfilled. The karmic cords are cut, and the love that was always yours is no longer held hostage by the past. Archangel Michael places the sword of clarity in your hand, not to fight, but to walk forward with. You are no longer bound. You are crowned. And as you step into your next chapter, know this truth above all. She tried to rewrite your chapter, but heaven does not erase what is written in soul light. What is yours is returning, and what is false is falling away.